Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to complete the Remembrance quest for the Undertaker. It is one of the new Nightfarers in Elden Ring Nightreign DLC, and there's 2 new Nightfarers as well as some other content that was released a few days ago for the Forsaken Hollows DLC. If this video ends up helping you and you enjoyed it, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy it, and I appreciate you watching. So first thing we're going to do is head over to the journal, which is in the far left door, or you can teleport there. Also, make sure that you have done some expeditions with the Undertaker because you need memory fragments to be able to start and progress the Remembrance quest. You get them from completing an expedition. Winning or losing, it does not matter, and we're just going to hit begin Remembrance here. So at this point, you're going to be spawned in front of the Iron Menu, and he's basically going to tell you that the Nightfarers came to slay and that you cannot maintain your strength unless you partake of it, and tells us that we overindulge and basically turns on us at that point. So you're going to end up having to fight him and the rest of the Nightfarers in the round table, and it can get kind of hectic. Just make sure that you take all of them on at one at a time, that way you don't get ganked completely. They're not very hard to fight, so as you'll see, he'll get kind of hostile here. And after you take out the Iron Manual, he's basically going to tell everyone else to kill you. So the first one you're going to run into is the Executor, and he's going to be right outside this door here waiting for you. So as soon as you run up to him, he's going to get aggroed, and these aren't very hard to take out, so obviously just be a little careful. If you end up with 0 heals, you will regenerate a new one, another flask. So yeah, just try to conserve your heals as much as possible. Again, these guys aren't very hard to take out. This one was probably the hardest because you got the recluse in the background trying to take you out with magic. So this is the one point I almost died. And then, you just want to try to maybe bring that guy around the corner, take him out, and then run out here and take her out. Then you're going to run through this third doorway right here, and you'll run into the Wilder. Just take him out. These guys don't have a whole lot of health to work with, so it is pretty easy to take them out. And you can, if you still have Prayful Strike on your hammer, you can obviously use that to regenerate some of your health. And we're going to go through this back door right here, and you'll run into the Raider. And at this point, I had to be kind of careful because I did not want to end up dying, so. And you also have the Iron Eye that comes in at the last second. So he was really easy to kill. I think a lot easier than the Raider here. So get a backstab on him, which worked out pretty well. Now that you've got all of them taken out, you're kind of going to get stopped. And after a moment, the Iron Manual will walk out from around the corner, and you guys are going to end up talking. So just make sure to exhaust his dialogue. And there is 2 choices here. I'm sorry, and I apologize. I don't really think it matters which one you choose. I just choose to apologize. After you finish up with this dialogue, it's going to give you a little message saying you were horribly parched and you need to absorb the power. So after that, you're going to go in this little overhang, and there's going to be a thing on the wall right here that you can interact with, and she's basically going to slam her weapon against it. And if you did the Scholar's Remembrance, you'll remember talking to the Undertaker when she was right here. And after that, it'll give you a prompt saying to absorb the knight's power. So you're going to interact with that and hit yes. And at this point, she's basically going to be licking the wall and absorbing the power. Now, once you finish with that, you're going to get a notice saying, what footsteps do I hear? And if you look on your map, you're going to see a little notice of an area that you're supposed to go to. And you're going to go outside and talk to the Scholar. So if you just run through this doorway here, and then take a left at the very end of the hallway and head outside. You're just going to follow your way down this pathway. And the scholar is going to be right up here on the right. And you're just going to exhaust his dialogue. And you're going to ask him if he saw it. And he's going to have some more dialogue and another prompt that you have to go through. And after that, he's going to give you his leather monocle case. And you don't actually get to see the item until you are done with this chapter of the Remembrance. So once you get finished up with this dialogue, you're going to come over here and wrap up this portion of the Remembrance. And it's going to send you back over to the journal where you will receive the leather monocle case as a relic, which is a pretty good relic, and I'll show you guys the power-ups on it. So after checking that out, we're going to start the next chapter. And again, make sure you've been doing expeditions with the Undertaker so you can get memory fragments, because again, you need those to be able to progress. So it's going to send us back to the round table, and we're just going to head back into the journal and check out our next objective. So it says talk to the priestess, and she is going to be right by the round table. So we can head out there and go exhaust her dialogue. So after speaking with her, you're going to go back to the journal, and it's going to say offer prayer in the chapel. So the chapel is the same room where we were absorbing that power. So we're going to head in through the far right door here and head through this hallway and into this back room. And once you get to the middle of the floor up here, you'll be able to interact with it. Now, after she has some words with herself, the Iron Manual is going to be standing at the end of the hallway down here, and you can speak with him to get some dialogue. Now, after you get done speaking with him and exhausting his dialogue, it's going to say personal objective added, so we're going to go back over to the journal and see what objective it is. Once you get to the journal, it's going to say search for the scholar in Limbuild, and you're going to need to do an expedition in the New Shifting Lands, the Great Hollows, to be able to find the scholar. So once you load into the map, ideally you're going to want to start at this location. This is one of the starting locations that you end up at when you start in the map, and this is the location that you need to go to be able to find the scholar. So there is a tree right nearby that we're going to take to get over there. So this should go without saying, but obviously you're not going to start in that spot every single time. I do think this is one of the easier areas to start at to be able to get over to the castle. But you're going to get into the castle the same way, either way, from any direction that you come from. So this is just the way that I ended up taking. So we're going to take this bird over here. And we're first going to grab this flask real quick, and I just didn't want to cut that out of the clip to confuse you guys, because I'm going to show you guys my full path to get into the castle to find the scholar. So again, we're going to grab this flask right here real quick, and then we're just going to follow this path along and around the other side of the castle. So you probably can just go through the front right there, through that doorway right here. This was my first time doing it, so I was kind of just learning as I went. I wasn't sure if you would end up finding him on the other side of the castle. So there is a spirit stream coming up here that we're going to use to get inside of the castle. Obviously, you can go back through that front pathway to get in there. But I'd recommend doing this on the first day or the second day. I mean, I guess it depends on where the circle ends up going. I ended up having to rush because the circle ended up closing outside of the castle. And this is the spirit stream that I'm talking about. So we're going to go inside the castle. And if you jump down right off this ledge right here, there's going to be a doorway that you can go inside right here. And there is going to be a big troll, so watch out for him. There's going to be some stairs that you can run up right here. And if you did the Scholar's Quest, you're going to be quite familiar with this area. So we're going to keep following our way up the stair set. And then go through this doorway. And then through this doorway. And then take a left through this doorway. And then we're just going to keep climbing up this rock right here. And up onto the beam. And then there's going to be an opening right here. And then through this doorway, and then you'll interact with this crystal right here, which has the scholar inside. So you will be given the scholar's primal core, and just make sure you complete the expedition with that. Just make sure you don't quit out. You can die or win, it does not matter. You just have to finish the expedition. So again, just make sure you have this in your inventory when you finish up with the expedition. Now, once we're done with that, we're going to go to the journal, and our next objective is to talk to the scholar. And if you head towards the room where the chapel is, he's going to be standing in that room. So we're just going to head through here, and then through this doorway. And he's going to be standing right to the right, and we're just going to exhaust his dialogue. And once you go through his dialogue, he's going to hand over the night-hued glass. And there's going to be a little bit more dialogue after that. So after you finished up with his dialogue, it's going to say Remembrance completed. And you can go over to this portal right here to conclude this portion of the Remembrance. So once it sends you back over to the journal, you're going to be rewarded with the Undertaker's Chalice, which you can use for your relics. Now, going back into the journal, it's not going to give you any explanation on what to do, but you should be at chapter 6 at this point, and you're going to need to go defeat the Night Aspect, which is the final boss of the base game. And you can do this expedition against the Night Aspect solo or with a team, it does not matter. And I'll show you what to do next after you defeat him. And again, make sure you defeat the Night Aspect. And if you've done the fight before, which I'm sure most of you probably have, you're going to get teleported in front of the castle, which is the round table hold in like a different world. So once you get teleported here, you're going to run up into this castle like you normally would to get to the credits. And you're going to go up to the body that you would normally go up to. And there is, at this point, an item in your inventory that you're going to need to drop in front of them, and I'll show you what that is in a second. So once you get up to the body here and you look in your inventory, you're going to have a dismembered finger in your inventory, which you can drop on the ground, which you need to do. And she's going to say this will do, I'm sure, and that's how you know that it's triggered. And after that, you can just interact with the body like you normally would to get to the credits. So once you finish up with the cutscene and through the credits, that's going to wrap things up for the Remembrance, and you will get the Remembrance outfit for the Undertaker, and you will get a new relic as well. So before we wrap things up with the video, this is what the relic is. It's a really, really good relic for the Undertaker. And this is the relic that you get earlier in the quest, which is the leather monocle case. And this one is pretty good as well. So you are rewarded with the 2 relics and the Remembrance outfit for this Remembrance quest. And I'm going to show you guys the Remembrance outfit real quick before we wrap things up. So like most Remembrance outfits, they're not a whole lot different than the original. This one, you just have a different necklace on than the original outfit. I'm pretty sure that's the only difference. That's the only thing I could really notice. As you can see, this one has a different necklace than this one. But overall, they're pretty much the same. Anyways, that's going to wrap things up for the Undertaker Remembrance. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out. If you guys have any questions about the quest, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to help you. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.